If you're struggling with women, it's not because you're weak, unattractive, you lack confidence. It's because you're playing the wrong psychological game. But the truth is, attraction collapses when you try too hard to secure it. And here's the uncomfortable part. The traits you were told would make women feel safe often make them feel bored. By the end of this video, you'll understand why men who say less, react slower, and walk away easier are often the most desired. Stay, because this isn't advice you hear twice. Most men are raised with a dangerous assumption. If I'm consistent, emotionally available, and understanding, she'll feel secure. But emotional availability without structure creates instability. Think about it. If someone is always available, always agreeing, always reassuring, there's no mystery, no tension, no polarity. Attraction doesn't grow in certainty, it grows in emotional contrast. Ask yourself this: have you ever noticed how attention feels more valuable when it could be withdrawn? Exactly. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. But here's where most men sabotage themselves. The moment attraction feels uncertain, they panic. They send long messages. They explain feelings she didn't ask for. They try to fix the mood. That behavior doesn't create closeness. It communicates need. High-value men do something radically different. They pause, and therefore they control the emotional pace. That pause is where attraction either dies or multiplies. Let's be clear. Emotional control does not mean being cold, it means being unshaken. A man who reacts emotionally hands over his power. A man who stays grounded becomes the reference point. Women don't want emotional chaos, they want emotional leadership. So ask yourself, when plans change, when texts slow down, when energy shifts, do you react or do you remain centered? Because calm is contagious. And the man who can regulate himself naturally becomes the one others orbit around. Here's another lie men are told: just be yourself. But nobody explains which self. The insecure self? The anxious self? The overgiving self? Attraction doesn't respond to raw emotion. It responds to regulated emotion. That's why being real without boundaries often backfires. And once you understand this, your behavior changes instantly. Attention is the most valuable currency in dating, not because it's rare, but because it signals priority. When you give unlimited attention, you signal unlimited availability, and unlimited availability lowers perceived value. Scarcity isn't manipulation, it's self-respect made visible. You don't withdraw to punish, you withdraw to protect your center. And paradoxically, that's what pulls people closer. Here's something uncomfortable. The man who can walk away is the man who doesn't need the outcome. And needlessness is magnetic. When you're willing to lose someone rather than self-defeat, you stop negotiating attraction. You become it. That's why walking away isn't weakness. It's leverage over your own emotions. Every interaction has a frame. Who sets the pace? Who reacts first? Who explains themselves? Most men enter her frame and try to earn approval inside it. High-value men bring their own frame. They don't rush, they don't justify, they don't chase clarity, and therefore they're experienced as grounded, confident, and rare. Let's make this real. Number 1, stop narrating your emotions. You don't need to explain how you feel every time you feel it. Number 2, end interactions first, calmly, not to play games, but to signal autonomy. Number 3, match energy, don't exceed it. Overinvestment creates imbalance. Remember, you're not being distant, you're being complete. Let me ask you something important. If she pulled back tomorrow, if attention faded, if communication slowed down, would you still feel grounded, or would your sense of worth collapse? Be honest, because the answer tells you whether you're leading or seeking validation. Here's the truth nobody likes to say out loud. Women don't fall for men who want them. They fall for men who don't need them. Not because they're cold, but because they're full. Full lives, full purpose, full self-respect. And that fullness is felt, not explained. I told you at the beginning that you'd understand what actually creates attraction. Here it is. The only thing women want is a man who remains himself, whether she stays or leaves. That's it. No tricks, no scripts, no manipulation. Just emotional solidity. If this shifted your perspective, subscribe to Stoic Signal. We break down attraction, masculine confidence, and emotional discipline without games. Because once you understand the psychology, you never chase again.